Good morning, Zio here, and today we're talking about Critical Role. Yeah, strangely enough. Anyway, grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax, and let's get into it, shall we? But before we get into that, did you know I have a TikTok? Nah, seriously, I do. Go ahead, go join it, go find it. Links down below, of course, and if you need the screen name, it's right there on the screen right there, so you can go ahead and find me. No, but seriously, want to interact, that sort of stuff, Stitch, whatever it is, duet, that sort of thing. You know, go ahead, do all that stuff over there. I'll, of course, see it and all this other stuff. We can have fun making little funny skits and doing other stuff, talking about things, having questions of the day, because sometimes I do that as well as do sort of like a short form version of whatever it is that we're talking here on YouTube or Fruit Labs. So go ahead, check it out. Now, today we'll be talking about Critical Role. If you don't know what Critical Role is either the bane of your existence or the best thing to happen to D&D ever. So, now, as for me, I don't know a whole lot about Critical Role. Like, I know what it is, right? It's a D&D game played by what's the guy's name? The DM Matt Mercer and whoever he's got playing. I think they were like voice actors or something at one point in time. I'm not sure what they're doing now, but it's been going on for a good few years now. At least since 2018, 2017, somewhere like that. So it's been quite a few years, and it's been an ongoing thing, and they've become this complete empire of D&D. So yesterday, I saw a video on the TikToks of all places, talking about this, and not to throw shade or anything else like that or whatnot, because that's not what this is about. They had circled this sort of thing right here and asked, is this possible? Because what exactly are we looking at? We're looking at the intellectual property of Critical Role and their Critical Role content policy, where they pretty much claim, oh gosh, me sucking down air down the wrong windpipe is going to kill me. Ugh. Maybe it was my coffee, I don't know. Anyway, where they pretty much lay out the details of their intellectual property, how to use it, that sort of thing, what they consider projects, artwork, web or projects, and other things, right? And they've got this list of rules here of what they can do because they've been informed they need to, which I'm not exactly sure what spawned this. I have a theory, but I haven't looked into it because I remember vaguely, not that long ago, I'm going to say about a month or so ago, there was some kind of fight between two people. And I don't want to go too into it because I don't know a whole lot about it. I need to look into it. But between two people and a character, apparently they had similar characters and they were doing different things, and one of them happened to be Critical Role, and apparently they also used to be friends and used to D&D or something together at the same time and stuff, and somebody was claiming that they were infringing on their character or their IP essentially. And yeah, anyway, so that's my idea, my theory, right? My opinion of why this is coming up now is probably has something to do with that entire infighting between these two particular people. Now, until I look into it, I can't really say a whole lot about how that has played out or anything, because what I saw was like 4 or 5 3-minute TikTok videos explaining the situation from one side, and I haven't looked it to the other side, so naturally I can't take a one-sided thing on that. But anyway, so in here they claim a lot of things, right? Things like names of their campaigns, for example, Vox Machina and the Mighty Nine, our characters, for example, story locations, company slogans such as "How do you want to do this?" as well as any written content and all related artwork, music, etc. as their IP. And the video, of course, I was looking at was talking about this. How in the world do you actually get a content or a a claim essentially on the phrase, how do you want to do this? Because this is a commonly uttered phrase between DMs and players. Either it's, how do you want to do this? How do you want to go about this? Some variant of that or that exactly. And it's not exactly something unique to Critical Role, right? And that was the question. How do you make that into an IP? And you can, right? That's when it comes down to it, you can. I'm not a lawyer. I probably should have said that at the beginning, so we'll say it now. I'm not a lawyer, so don't quote me on this. This stuff could change and stuff, because we do have things out there. It gets wonky, right? Like, when Funimation has the tagline, you should be watching or whatnot, generally they've got that entire thing, claimed as theirs. It says Funimation, you should be watching, that sort of thing. And I thought maybe that, something like that. So if it said Critical Role, how do you want to do this? That would be the thing. So I've been digging deeper into it. And it turns out you actually can straight up just claim, how do you want to do this? And essentially protect it. And the next question, I guess, is how to enforce something like this, right? First, of course, something's got to infringe on their claim to it. But whether or not something like that is enforceable in a court of law is still a different thing, because let me slow down. When it comes to some of this stuff, from my understanding, from listening to other lawyers and other things on there when they've talked about IP and stuff, if I understand this correctly, you absolutely can claim something like this, but then enforcing it is a little bit harder to do. And it could come that, it finds out through the court system that you can't actually claim that for whatever, because it's more of a commonly used phrase. It's just, maybe the courts or whatever didn't know it at the first part, the trade markets, the trade thing didn't. And then, a thing is put on it, and I'm not really sure. Anyway. So I did some digging because I was curious, is this actually something that they have trademarked, all this other stuff? Because, they're claiming it as their IP, and yes, absolutely, this is something that they have put a thing on it. They've actually gone ahead and put a mark on these words. How do you want to do this? Now, I'm not exactly sure why this first bit is bolded, but that last one doesn't seem to be too bolded. I think that might be a typo kind of thing, because I figured, if it was just how do you want to do, it'd be like parentheses or something. I don't know. Anyway, point is, this was claimed. This was a registration date of 2018, back in December 1st, by Critical Role Productions, LLC, Limited Liability Company, California. And, has all that information right there. The thing that this is protecting is t-shirts and tops. And it's got its first use and first commercial use numbers right there, so you can absolutely go look those up. Entertainment, namely a continuing comedy and fantasy show board game over the internet, or broadcast over the internet. And that is what they've got claims on right there. T-shirts and tops, essentially, for this. So if you want to put it on a hat, unless tops means hat, which it might be, that's also something you need to look into, because tops for me is technically another word for shirt. But if you've already got t-shirts there and you need something else, it's probably hot tops or hats. If you want to put it on a pair of underwear or something, how do you want to do this? That is not technically protected under this, as far as I'm aware. But yeah, the question is, could they actually do this? And yes, they absolutely can. So I, of course, looked up other things as well, like Grog Strongjaw. What exactly is this protected under? And yes, they have absolutely protected that, from jewelry to audio and video recordings featuring television programs, television series, stuff like that. So it's safe to assume that their characters and stuff have absolutely been trademarked as well, and they go full bore with this one, because it looks like they've grabbed everything from clothing, namely shirts, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, sweatshirts. And of course, you've got to, like, if you want to use these things, I would definitely look into it. Definitely look into this, because As you got this here, it's very, very short, t-shirts and tops. You look over here, they've got all sorts of things. So sweatshirts, does that actually fall into using? How do you want to do this? I'm not sure. I need an IP lawyer to talk about that. But yeah, I mean, heck, even underwear, which I just made as an example, is on here for Grog Strongjaw. Which, of course, this is a mark that they put in place 2020 of February 4th. Vox Machina, of course, I went to look up their examples because, that's kind of what I had to go on because I don't watch Critical Role. I don't know a whole lot about them. But yeah, same thing here. They've pretty much got this, which is totally fine. When it came to things like, their actual story and stuff like that, I knew that that was definitely something that they could definitely, trademark, essentially, because that is something that belongs to Critical Role, or at least, Matt Mercer, if he's the one who actually came up with it. And it is something that he can do because they have put it into a video format, and it's something that you can trademark as well. But, the whole thing was really, can they trademark that phrase, essentially? You've got the Legend of Vox Machina. And then I, of course, went looking to see if there was any trademarks on story locations here. So I assume they must be under something else. Because I went through the entire list of anything that was, say, for instance, Whitestone or Nicodrons. Is that how you say that? Anyway, I went and I looked up these to see if there was anything that would be more specific to it, and there is absolutely nothing on those two things. So I'm not really sure what to talk about, what to say about that, because I checked all the dead ones as well, and it's none of those. Those are all various companies, from jewelry companies to software and other stuff, and half of them have died. They're no longer, trademarked at all. And of course, this one here, Necrodrons or whatever, didn't actually come back with a result at all. So I'm not exactly sure how they've essentially marked those exactly. At least it doesn't seem like the name itself seems to be marked. So, if you want to run a campaign or something and have a town called Whitestone and you broadcast it to the internet, I would say my guess is you would be fine. However, I'm sure somewhere, somehow, they have marked this in a certain way that, may not be easily findable, that they could come after you for. So if you, say, rip their description of the place whole cloth or something, or if they've actually done a rendering map or something of the location, and you take that that would be, oh gosh, excuse me, a no-no. Especially if, because that map and stuff, if they've got a physical digital piece of artwork or whatnot, that probably is already trademarked. And I've got the hiccups. I've talked too much and drank too much coffee. Anyway. So yeah, can they do it? Absolutely, they have. Can they enforce it? That's a different story. I guess it just depends on how or what was doing the infringing, and how they want to go about doing it, of course. I would say, because this is a broad statement here, how do you want to do this? That's why it is limited, I think, to a couple of things here. This, on the other hand, here sounds like, if you do decide to stream your D&D games to something, and you say, how do you want to do this? This makes it sound like that they can absolutely come after you for it. My guess is, anyway, because again, I'm not a lawyer. It just sounds like that. It seems like they could come after you for it, but then they've got to essentially, I guess, prove that you're infringing on that somehow. But with it being such a commonly used phrase, I'm not sure if they can actually properly enforce that, to be totally honest. But yeah, this stuff is highly complicated. Highly complicated. I would love to see somebody who's more into IP law or just a lawyer in general who might understand this stuff a lot better talk about it because, I'm highly interested in it. I just, my knowledge is limited when it comes to law of this kind. So let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. See ya.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.